I welcome you to the studios of Hope TV Ghana, to your favorite show, Real Talk. Today, I just want you to reflect on the amazing things that God has done for you throughout the week, from the beginning of the week till now. I mean, He has protected us, He has provided for us, He has seen us through all the difficulties, and He has provided all our basic needs and even more for us. The month of June is all about forgiveness. So if you're holding any grudge against anybody, if you are thinking someone has treated you in a way that you did not deserve, I am sure you've also done the same to someone. So please find it in your heart to forgive. Forgetting may not be easy, but by the grace of God, I am sure you and I will be able to do just that. You know, before we go into our stories, I just want you to reflect a bit on the system in Ghana when it comes to job hunt or job searching. Right after school, you get to do your national service. If you're lucky, you are maintained in whatever field or whatever company you find yourself working as a national service person. But if you're not, then the search begins again. You have to go around, apply for jobs, go for interviews. That is if you're lucky enough for your application to be shortlisted and called for an interview. Go for the interview. Some companies have interview 1, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 before finally they agree on who they want to pick as the person to work in the company. And honestly, most young people searching jobs will tell you that these things have become a formality. It's just for you to go, so that they see that, oh, we called people to come and work or to come for the interview, but really you're just passing through. Whoever they want to give the job to, they know, and they've already handed the job to the individual. So job search in Ghana is very, very tedious. The hassle, the bustle, what you have to go through. And now, it is not who you know again, it is who knows you. It has become all about connections. If your father has connection, if your mother has connection, if you know a friend, if you know someone who knows someone who knows someone and they know you, then hopefully you can get a good job. But if not, you keep struggling until God Himself intervenes and decides to bless you with a job. This is what the young man that sent a story faced. He went through a lot of struggles. But now he seems to have a good job. But there's always a condition. There's always a what if, and there's always a but. Before we take a look at our story, I have in the studio with me, I always say she's one of the people with the most beautiful complexions I have ever seen. She is a chocolate, beautiful, melanin lady. I'll introduce her to you shortly, but I have people joining me virtually as well, and I will introduce them to you as well. I just want to remind you that you can also send your story to us. You can send it through our WhatsApp number. You can send it through even our Facebook. You can DM us, Instagram, wherever you're comfortable. Send your story to us. It can be on any issue that is bothering you. Real Talk is all about real conversations, real stories by real people. And so we encourage all of you out there to send your story to us. They say a problem shared is a problem solved. And so I would also like to remind you that we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube as well, Hope TV Ghana. Just stream live with us, join the conversation, leave your comments under the comments section, share your thoughts, your agreements, your disagreements, whatever you're feeling about the story. Put it down there. I'll make sure I take some of the comments and read them as the discussion goes on. Let me go ahead and introduce my amazing panelists to you. But I know that you're looking at my fabric and you're wondering where this beautiful fabric is coming from. It is by Akosombo Textiles, ATL. They are all about bringing fabrics to life. And today I'm so grateful to be sponsored and be given this very beautiful fabric, as beautifully designed as you can see. So you can also go to the market and find one for yourself. Get your designer and sew whatever style you want to sew, and trust me, you look just as good as I look, if I do say so myself. Okay, so let me just go straight ahead and introduce my guest. In the studio with me is a lady. I already told you she has one of the most beautiful skins I've ever seen. Her name is Fiona. I will make an attempt of getting her last name. So she is Fiona Achen. Did I get it right?
Achien.
Achien.
Yes.
Oh God, I thought I got it
Jumps to
right.
the IE.
Achien.
Yeah.
Fiona Achien. She's a beautiful Kenyan lady. Fiona.
Thank you. Yes.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
I am very excited that you're here. I remember, I think last week or last 2 weeks when I tried reaching out to you, like, oh, you read the story. I don't really know much about it, but you any other story. I hope the story you are.
This one is fine.
It's fine.
Yes.
Right. Great. But how has your week been?
Oh, my week has been busy, but we thank God. How's yours been?
Ah, well, God has been good. We can't complain.
God.
At least we have jobs, don't we?
Yes, thank God.
Thank you so much for coming once again.
You're welcome.
Joining me virtually, I have Elder Solomon Kwesi Asiedu. Elder, if you can hear me, kindly say hi to myself and my panelists and my audience.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening, Evie.
Good evening.
Thank
How are you doing,
much.
Elder? How has your week
I
been?
can hear you. Oh, by God, it's been hectic, but we are managing.
Yeah, we are managing. I'm sure God has been faithful to us, even though we do not deserve it
Oh,
sometimes. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome.
Okay, the next person joining me is Pastor Nathaniel Frimpong Manso. Pastor, can you hear me?
Yes, Evie, I can hear you.
Great. How are you doing? How has your week been?
Yeah, Grace has found me. The week
Yeah.
has been good. He's always stressed with work, but God has been faithful.
Right.
How was your week too?
My week has been good, actually. Thank you so much for asking. So the other lady joining me all the way from the States is Grace Love. She's been on the show before, and I'm so glad she's joining me today. Hello, how are you doing, Grace Love?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Evie. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. It's so good to have you on the show again.
It's a pleasure to be back again.
Okay, I'm sure you're ready for the story.
Yes, very ready.
Okay, good. Okay, so guys, you just saw my amazing panelists. I have Fiona, I have Grace Love, I have Nathaniel, and I have Solomon. They are going to join me, discuss, try to find solutions, try to help this gentleman. I want you to take a look at our story. Please listen to it well, because I'm sure it is one that a lot of people, young people, are going through in this country that we live in. And I am sure it will touch you in some ways, and some of you can relate to it. Hopefully we are able to have a discussion that will help you, able to have a discussion that would also inform you, so that when you go out there, at least you're equipped with some detailed information so you make an informed decision. This is Real Talk. We'll be right back. My name is Evie. We are taking a look at our story.
Dear Real Talk, I have a huge problem and I don't know the right decision to take. We all know the struggles of getting a good job in this country, and especially in Accra nowadays. I've been hustling here and there just to get a good job, going for interviews all over the place but no success. And as a young man trying to start life, this isn't easy. Fortunately or unfortunately, I met this older man, about 55 years old, who told me he liked how I look and spoke, so he would connect me with an oil company that belongs to his family. True to his word, he did, and the interview was just a formality because I got the job right after the interview, and I'm scheduled to start Monday. The issue is the man called me to congratulate me and to tell me there is a reason he recommended me, and this is because he's gay and would like me to be in his life. I know this man has a wife with kids. I am not gay, but I'm afraid to tell him because he might stop the work deal from going through and I may lose the job. This is good job, I don't know if I should lie to him until I start work and just keep tossing him just to tell him the truth. But what if I lose the job? I've hustled enough in the streets of Accra in job search. Please help me.
What some MD did to you, What's happened when you thought you had a job, and the what's it called, the requirements it came with, some of them obviously out of this world, like this young man's own. And I am sure you've even let go of jobs that you believe would have changed your life because of one reason or the other. So this story, it's close to home to most of the youths in the country, and it's one that I hope we are able to come up with some solid solution for this guy. Hopefully going forward, he knows that he makes a decision that God is happy with and he is happy with, so that he can sleep at night. Because sometimes you have these jobs, great job, great money, comfortable life, but you can't sleep at night because of some of the things you have to do to maintain or even to keep the job. So Fiona, I mean,
Yes.
when you heard the story,
Yeah.
what came to mind? What was your general take on the story?
Well, the first thing I thought, honestly, is that he probably shouldn't even be asking this question. First of all, I commend him for seeking help, right? But then the question to me seemed as though he's already made a decision, but he just wants confirmation of what he's made, you know.
Okay.
Because when he's asking, should I tell him that I am gay? I was thinking, it's just a thought, right? That
So should I tell him I am not gay?
yeah, should I tell him I am not gay, right? I'm thinking that perhaps this man already knows that he's not gay, you know, because I'm sure there's a way these men can look at each other and see, okay, this person is gay, this person is interested, you know, because had he, let's say for example, had he figured out that this man was gay, maybe he wouldn't have seen a reason to call him and explain the reason as to why he recommended him, you know. So maybe he called thinking that, okay, this guy didn't really catch my vibe, so let me tell him what I'm about, you know. So I think the guy already knows that he's not gay, so that's why I'm saying maybe this is not the question he should be asking, because it looks like the guy already knows.
Oh,
yeah,
I get what you mean. But Fiona, you've been to Ghana, you've been here for some few months, and how has your experience been trying to get a job? Or it was one that was already arranged from when you came from Kenya to do some sort of exchange courses or those things, or you had to go through the system of seeking and applying for a job?
Yes, I had to go through the process of seeking and applying for a job, and God was gracious enough to grant me at every point. So I wouldn't say I've had much difficulty by God's grace, but I know there are people who have lots of difficulties. They'll send their CVs and they still won't get the job, but God was merciful enough to just let me get it the first time I'm sending it, you know. So yeah.
Okay, so at least that is a success story out there, and that is even to show you that God can come through for you. You shouldn't sleep on the God factor. He can really do amazing things. I mean, with God, all things are indeed possible. Coming to you, Solomon, I just want to take your general take on the story, and if you have any personal experience with regards to difficulties getting a job, you could share that with us so that people at home can get some sort of inspiration from your story.
Okay, thank you very much once again. And I appreciate the opportunity given to me. When I heard the story, what came to mind was our brother. I realized our brother is suffering. So I really sympathize with him, the ordeal that he's going through. In fact, it's not easy. And you should bear in mind that this is not the first time it is happening, and that's not going to be the last. There are many such instances going on, and some have even condoned it and enjoying it in the court. Some people have denied and they are suffering for it. But since he has been able to come out and wants us to help him, it means that he has gotten a point that he needs our advice so that he can make a concrete decision. So it's a good attempt for him to be able to come out with it. Some are keeping it. So I think by the end of the discussion, he will be much convinced and with much ideas to how to address the issue, to get his job back or to quit the job.
Right. I was asking if you've had some personal experiences with the difficulties in getting jobs.
With my job line, I went to the training college. So right after the school, my job was there waiting for me. But I've heard many people complaining about the job, how the difficulties they are going through, especially our dear ladies, how vulnerable they are on the job seeking market. It's really pity. It's happened this way.
Right, right. That is very true. And Pastor Nathaniel, I'll just come to you. I'll take your general take on the story. What came to mind immediately you heard the story? And if you, by any chance, you have any personal experience with job hunts in this country, how difficult or how easy it has been for you, or even if you've had any experiences like that from people that you know, you could share it with us so our audience would have some insight and obviously draw some inspiration from these stories that it's possible.
Okay, yeah, Evie, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to commend the gentleman for, seeking help, because that's this first step he's taking actually would help him, bring him out of the situation he finds himself. This is my general take on this subject, and because if it is a real talk, I would like to be realistic as it is. First of all, the experience of this young man is an unfortunate experience. I wouldn't agree with him when at a point in his story he said it's fortunate or unfortunate. I think it's an unfortunate experience for him, especially for such a young man who has or who is wanting to start life in a positive way. He's been searching for jobs. He doesn't want to be involved in any cruel, job. He wants to seek for real jobs so that he can make, an ends meet. So it's a positive thing that he was trying to chase after. But you and I believe that sometimes miracles do happen. I think we all believe in that. But we should begin to question miracles of this kind. This kind of experience of this gentleman, probably he might think that is a miracle. But such miracles, we should question them. A man who does not know you from anywhere even, he meets you and tells you he likes your looks. And just because of that, he would want to connect you to his family or your company. You need to be thinking deep about this. And just like that, the gentleman agreed. From what I understood from the story, the young man should have taken time to reason through by asking himself questions. Questions like, what does he like about my looks? What does this gentleman likes about my look? What are some of the questions that he needs to ask is that why does he like that looks of me? And what makes him like that looks about me? And for what? Is there any reason behind the offer he's granting me? Is there any reason behind that? You need to be asking yourself questions because you don't know this man from anywhere. And is there a reason behind his offer due to my looks? You need to be asking yourself these questions. So there should be that self-awareness of such happenings. And I think this should be a lesson to all of us and the young people, that when we get this opportunity, some to us it might look like a miracle, but we need to be questioning ourselves.
Right.
And when you look at the story, no matter what it is, the young man has the choice to make. He has a choice to make, whether to continue with the job or not. Personally, I think that the man is not forcing the young man. We need to understand that he's not forcing the young man. Rather, he's persuading him to yield to his quest based on the issue of threat, that if you do not go along with me, you will lose this job. I want you, that's why I'm offering you this job. So society should not downplay on this particular incident because they are happening every day of our lives. So basically, this is the take I have from this subject, this story. The young man has a choice to make. And looking at the story, I don't think that his choice or his decision should be difficult for him to make. What I realize that is making it difficult for him, is that his concentration or his interest is on money. I may be wrong, but that is my thinking. His interest is on the money because I've been chasing for jobs I'm not getting, but this time they offer. On the story. I'm talking about jobs. the struggle of job search in Ghana. Personally, I have not as I was there, I was not interested to work in Accra, so I decided to come to Kumasi to help those people here because we wouldn't have the best working in Accra. It's also come down to help our people. So I went for an interview. I mean, the number was quite huge, but fortunately for me, I was chosen. So I never had any issue concerning jobs. But as a pastor, as a young pastor, I have heard from a lot of young people that searching for jobs today is a tedious work.
Right.
And they go through a lot, like what this young man is going through. Most of the bigger institutions in Ghana, I wouldn't name them, but these huge institutions that pays much, most of the time for you to secure a job there, it's either you sleep with a boss or sometimes a third party who will be linking you to the boss in that institution would want to mess up with you first. After messing up with you, he gives you to the boss in charge, and he also wants to take advantage of you before they give you the job. I have a young lady who shared her experience with me. The appointment was given to her even, and the man asked her to meet him in a hotel. She went in there for the appointment. The appointment letter was shown to her, but the man said, I have to sleep with you. The lady refused. And in front of the lady, the man tore the appointment letter right in front of her. So you can imagine what people are going through. And I think it's not an easy thing. That's why I earlier on said that this is a societal problem. And when people are advocating for human rights, getting against child trafficking, domestic violence, and other things, this is an aspect that people need to look at so that we all speak and fight against.
Right. Thank you so much for that extensive, opinion on what is going on so far, and even sharing that story of that young lady. That's quite unfortunate that you get a job on merit only for it to be taken away from you because you did not do what the person expected you to do. Go as far as sleep with them to get this job. I mean, that is just unfortunate. Grace Love, you are there. I'm sure you can hear me. Please share your opinion so far on what you've been discussing and general take if you have any experiences. And with you, I would just ask you to go further. You haven't been in Ghana for a while, so I just want to know the culture out there in the States, if it's similar to the Ghanaian system of searching for a job and the connection and all that. If you have any thoughts on that, kindly share it with us.
Okay, so my general take on the whole thing, I think I have to be honest and say this is the second time I'm hearing a situation like this. Somebody close to me's friend also had a similar situation, but he was quick enough to, realize that, this isn't it, or I'm not going to involve myself in such a thing. So I think that it happens more rampantly than we would like to think. And so that was my general take. And that I genuinely believe that he was at a crossroad, those kind of decisions where but you just need somebody to push you, and just to guide the way. Not that he doesn't know what to do, but he just needs those supporting arms to be able to hold on to. And with regards to the culture here, when I came here and I looked for a job, I got it pretty quickly. Here, I think you get your job mostly based on merit. I'm pretty sure that no country is perfect, so they have their own thing going on. But generally, if you've got the degree, if you've got your accreditation, if you've got the stuff, it's pretty easy to find a job out here, because even people 14, 15, 18 are even working. I started my first job at 18, so, and I didn't have to have any degree for that. There are jobs that you can get pretty quickly here. So job hunting here is not necessarily bad. And in the field that I'm going in, which is nursing, that too, I have heard that it's not very difficult to get a job. So general take on America's job search, I think 90% you get the job if you have
what it takes, right? Fiona, coming to you, you are in another African country, and we are literally the same, if I should say. Some of you are ahead than us, infrastructure and all that. But how is the system there in Kenya and the struggles of getting a job? And also, I'd like you to speak on getting a job through connections. Sometimes the consequences. I mean, like this man's one, he has the job, but he can't even take it because it comes with some extra things that he obviously cannot offer. So please speak to us on that, looking from Kenya's perspective, and then getting jobs through connections as well.
Well, for my country, I would say it's no different. I think this is something that happens everywhere, especially in most third world countries, because everybody is trying to make a living, right? Everybody is trying to climb up the ladder and make something meaningful that can sustain them and their families. And not every company is ready or willing to bear that heavy cost of production that will come, so you'll find a lot of people leaving graduate school with very good degrees and credentials, but they can't get jobs, Just the other day, I was watching this documentary by BBC about a couple of young men from Kenya who graduated with an engineering degree, first-class honors, but then they were freelance writers, right? And so they were being interviewed, they were being asked, why are you doing this freelance thing? I mean, you have a really good degree, right?
Exactly.
And they said, well, out of our batch, whoever graduated, about only 5 are picked for jobs. Like they have a really low cut, and yet there's a mass
production of students.
Exactly. So it's definitely very hard to get jobs, even in my own country. And the other thing you asked was about connections.
Right.
I think it's good to get jobs via connections, but we need to ask ourselves certain questions before we even accept, because somebody can look very innocent when they're coming to give you a job and you think, I know this, but sometimes it's somebody you've known for a while. They'll come and tell you, hey, I have this job, I want to give it to you, but when you really look at the situation, when you just take time and pray about it, you might see that there's some things that may not align with your moral values. So for me, if you ask me, I'd say, yes, it's good to take connections, but then is there something about this connection or this deal that is not aligning with your principles and moral values? If we take this story, for instance, yes, we can go on and on about how he is jobless and he needs a job. I accept that, right? But when you look deep into the story, you see that there's a high chance of adultery occurring in this circle.
Right.
This man is essentially making an advancement for adultery to take place. And I'm assuming that the person who wrote this is a Christian. If he is, then he obviously knows that it's against the 10 commandments. And he says, thou shalt not commit adultery. So it's up to him to really look inside and ask himself, okay, this connection that is trying to give me what I want, is it going to make me stray away from what I believe? Because there's a huge overarching image of adultery within this place.
Right.
This is a married man with children, and then we add on the whole idea of gender. God ordained a man and a woman, but this is a man and a man, So even with this connection, actually, I'll save that for when you ask me what he should do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I was really enjoying where you're going with all of that, so I was very invested. But if you search reports,
yes,
I will pause
for now.
Okay. Elder Solomon, I'll come to you. I mean, looking at this story and the requirements, and not we are using this guy as a history, as a case study, but obviously there are so many ridiculous, if I should say, offers out there that people are forced to take. The truth of the matter is, living in Accra, Ghana without a job, it is difficult. It is difficult. Like, we won't sit here and make it seem like, you can manage. It is difficult. And as for a young guy who is trying to, for the guys especially, at a point your parents do not give you anything. For the women, they are scared to go and get pregnant, so at least they can give us some back cities here and there. But for the guys, you are usually left on your own to go and make it. And when you, especially when you see friends progressing, when you see it looks like friends are getting it and you are not, and this offer comes, like Pastor says, this is a miracle. I mean, he just saw me and he said he liked the way I looked, and then I got a business, an oil company. We are talking about dollars here, a lot of money. So this guy, yeah, we can go on and say, oh, look at this and that. But it's a huge struggle. So I want you to talk into details the consequences that comes with some of these getting works through connection, and also if you can go further, I want you to speak on if this guy should just go ahead and say, Massa, I beg, I am not gay, and so I cannot be your gay partner. Please, please share your view on that with us.
Okay, so I agree with you now, what he said. In fact, the connection is not wrong. In Ghana here, for you to be able to get a job, you need to be connected with the little HR that are there. The job vacancy is declared internally before it comes to the media. So you see the media job vacancy in the papers, already somebody's application is gone. So, as our brother story, he has struggled for many years for the job. And Patanak, God works in a mysterious way. He met the guy just once and he was interested in him. But the mistake that he did was he didn't go further to investigate what he liked about him. He said he is interested in him and he wants to help him find. What actually enticed him to do that? He could have gone further, do more search on him, get all the points that or what the man is demanding from him, so that he can make a concrete decision. But literally, the man too did not attach any condition, just to help you. It's an opportunity given, so you have to grasp. And then it was later on that he has got admission that he's coming out with this condition. So he has a point. He has a point, and he has done anything wrong. If you have been into his shoe, as we always say, you see that this guy has suffered, and this opportunity, you can't let it go.
I know it's a difficult one to let go, really. It's really difficult one to let go. But I was asking, do you think he should, now he says he's afraid. So he knows that when he says, oh, I'm not gay, the guy can do his own things and terminate his appointment. He gave it to him. He can take it away. But should he tell him the truth that, oh, I'm not gay? Or you think he should just play smart and just toss him here and there, start the work, maybe he gets the 3 months money down, save some money before he says, no, I can't do this? Or you think he should just come out right and say that, I'm sorry, but I'm not gay, I can't be with you in that way. If you will still give me the job, great, God bless you. I mean, if you can give it to me, God will deal with you. I don't know. But what is your take on that? Should he tell him that he can't, he's not gay?
I think there wasn't any condition. Since there wasn't any condition attached to the offer that the man gives to him, he is not obliged to the man.
Okay.
Now he has got an appointment and he's working. So everything has to do with the guy and then the employer. The guy cannot terminate his appointment. He cannot take him to anywhere. There's no law that is abusing.
Okay.
He's of his own now. He can decide to tell me, no, you didn't tell me. If you told me that, I wouldn't have taken the offer that you gave me.
Okay. So you can come from that angle. Fiona, I saw you trying to... Yeah.
I want to say something.
See,
from the story, well, what I understood was that this company belongs to their family.
Yes.
Meaning he's kind of entitled to do whatever he wants. Also think about this. This man hasn't really formally started, you know, so it can be terminated anytime, because that's what every contract says, right? Like the employer is free to terminate it whenever they want, right? And then the other thing, the question, I really have a problem with the question, the question of, should I tell him I am not gay? You know, because I strongly feel like this man already knows he is not gay, you know. And when you look at the way this man put it, he wasn't asking him a question that will you be my gay partner? No, he was making a statement. You know, he was telling him, I gave you this job because I'm interested in you, period. You know, so you need to know, now that you've gotten in, you have responsibilities to me. Now for him, it's like now he has to make the decision of whether he's going to uphold these responsibilities or leave. You know, it doesn't even matter whether or not he's gay, because this man knows and he wants to take advantage of the fact that he's already here. Yeah,
I get your point. Talking about Elder, you made some points about the law. I reached out to our resource person, our lawyer on the show, Jackie, and Asante Mensah. She's always on board to help us with any case or any stories that would need the help of a lawyer or some knowledge of the law. And so she came through for us once again, and she sent this message that said, if the guy got the job on merit, then his termination should be within due process. That is in accordance with the Labor Act and the company's termination policy. The law cannot force any institution, especially private ones, to employ you. However, if your employment is unlawfully terminated, you can be awarded damages by a court or the Labor Commission. This guy hasn't even started the work. Whether he got it by merit or not is also questionable. Plus, his letter of appointment must say he's under probation for, say, 3 months. And so his appointments can be terminated for non-performance. They can go that route. So at this point, the company can easily find a way of terminating his appointment. So, but yeah, the law can protect you, but there are so many gray areas, especially with this story. He hasn't even started, and he can come day one and they can make an excuse of how he didn't do the work well, or he's just not a great fit, and they can terminate it. I mean, it's just sad. But Grace Love, I am coming to you and I'm asking you if you think the man should tell this man, oh, I don't know how you want me in your life, but I am not gay, or you think he should lead him on, start the work, get some 1 month, 2 months salary down before he leaves. Like, what do you think he should do around, like, with regards to this? Should he come straight out and tell me, I'm sorry, I can't help you with this? Or you think he needs the job? That is where my issue is. We can easily gloss over the fact that, oh, he'll get another job. But if he's been struggling for 10 years, telling that guy he'll get another job, he won't accept easily, because he struggled for 10 years. His mind right now is, am I going to go back to that lifestyle? And this looks like a great offer. So being as realistic as you can be, what do you think he should do? Tell the man about his real sexual orientation, or he should find a way of being smart and getting the job at the same time?
I think that he should be as honest as he can be. The pastor said something that I found really interesting. He said that he started positive, and I want to say then he should end positively. Because when you went in, this is not what you were going in for, right? And so now that these things have popped up, I'm of the view that, back to the connection thing, even going to heaven, it's about who you know, which is Jesus Christ. Everything is about him.
Right.
You know, if God was able to make this happen, what's the guarantee that he won't make another opportunity come that is better if he allows himself to be patient? But then again, I want to be realistic and sympathetic to say that I know it's not easy, because patience doesn't come naturally to human beings. So, but he's going to have to ask, is it what let's even forget denying Jesus, denying his principles, denying yourself, your principles. And I wouldn't say stoop so low, because it's some people's sexual orientation, but are you going to allow yourself to get to a point where you never thought you were going to get to, all in the name of money, right? These are questions that he's going to have to ask himself and answer. But since he has brought it here, he just has to realize that there are certain things that it's not big.
Human being. Obviously, bringing the story here, we are guessing you're a Christian, so to you as a Christian as well. And we'd have to go for a quick break. Pastor, when we come back, I'll be coming to you and taking your view on if he should tell the man straight ahead that he's gay, how can he protect his job right now in this state, and any extra comments you have on the discussion so far. So take a quick break. When we come back, we will go into the entire